the big day. Oh, I look a mess. And let's see how Buddy looks. Buddy looks annoyed with waking up this early. But today we're making the big drive out to to Donahue, Nebraska or something. And then we're gonna be on to somewhere in Indiana and then on to New York. So okay, so we're in Wyoming now. It's 7:30, so we've been driving for maybe about an hour and 45 minutes, and we've already had chaos. We've already had to call the police because we're driving next to this big silver semi truck, and he's swerving all over the road and going 95 miles an hour, and he just about ran me off the road. So we had to call the police, and hopefully that gets taken care of and he doesn't cause an accident. But thankfully we've now been on the open road for a while and away from reckless semi trucks and cruising our way through Wyoming. Okay, we're at the Little America rest stop, walking Buddy, and this right here, this buffalo is special to me. I took a picture with this on the way to my friend's wedding a few years back, so I remember this buffalo. Don't you love tunnels, Zachary? I do. Woo! Thrilling! Alright, we're in Nebraska, and it's still very much not big. I think this is the first time I've been to Nebraska. I'm pretty sure that the only other time I drove across the country, we went through Kansas instead of Nebraska. So I think this is my first time. And so far, dead grass. Buddies, steak burgers and custards, not sponsored by them. And they just gave us a pup cup because they saw we had a dog in the back seat. So Buddy is a lucky boy today. It's day 2. Okay, it's day 2. We're most of the way through Nebraska. Check out this sunrise, pretty weird. Like red, and it's been kind of like low-lying fog. So, yeah, last night was a rough night for sleep. But we're on our way again, and this time we're going to make it out to Indiana, and in about an hour and 45 minutes I have to call into my embryology class.
By doing ancestry testing, and their moms used sperm donors, and they did, either they did.
Update, we're in Chicago. We're stuck in traffic, and I also got pulled over, but I got let go. It's now Thursday, and we're going through the Ohio Turnpike on our way on really the last leg of our trip, and they have very fancy rest stops. It's like a mall. I might get Starbucks. Given how in and out the service was for me watching classes from the car yesterday, we're really pushing to make it all the way to New York and to our hotel by like 4 o'clock when my class is. So we got up super early. We got up at 4:15 today, and clearly I'm rushing because I stopped for coffee. But we're really pushing it and trying not to get stopped for speeding again, though. That's important. Don't speed. Take it from a criminal on the loose. I haven't been recording all that much today, but we just got into the Mahwah area of New Jersey. So we've been in New Jersey for about half an hour. Really getting close, about 40 minutes out. And then 3 minutes after we arrive, I have to zoom into a class. Welcome to New York! We didn't include the song we were listening to, but the last time I did that, we got a copyright infringement notice. We're crossing this bridge, the New York Thruway, I think it's called. I'll probably regret not knowing what this bridge is called, but we're going over water, and this is basically the last little bit before we arrive at our hotel. Hey, it's Saturday night, and we're in our hotel, and the past day and a half since we arrived has been a little crazy, so I haven't taken that much footage, but I've been catching up on schoolwork that got a little bit behind on during the drive, and got my fingerprinting down for my clinical rotation, so it's just been a lot, and I'm in New York, and I look a mess. A learning moment for this week. I'll draw out an explanation of how you can tell, using chromosome tracking, whether a nondysjunction event occurred during meiosis 1 or meiosis 2. Okay, we're talking about nondysjunction and how to tell whether it happened in meiosis 1 or in meiosis 2. So here, to help us demonstrate, I have two of our dog's medications. Yes, they're different sizes, but we will say that they are homologous chromosomes. We can just say that they're the X and the Y chromosomes since they're different sizes. So this would be then spermatogenesis, and we are going to take this somatic cell with a full X and full Y and make it into germ cells that can be used for fertilization. So the point of meiosis 1 is to separate the homologous chromosomes. So normally we would have these split from one somatic cell into two future germ cells, where we have now the X and the Y separated. And then in meiosis 2, we would be splitting the sister chromatids. So breaking into the sister chromatids. This yellow one's a little bit harder. All right, so we got them broken. So we've had a successful meiosis 1 separating the homologous chromosomes, and a successful meiosis 2 separating the sister chromatids. So now we have basically single-stranded X, and single-stranded Y, 4 sperm cells that can be used to fertilize. You're following? Okay. So let's talk about what can go wrong in meiosis, leading to nondysjunction. A nondysjunction would mean having multiple chromosomes, multiple of the same chromosome basically, in one germ cell, and if that fertilized, you would get a trisomy at that chromosome. All right, so we got our X and our Y again. Now let's see what happens if there is a nondysjunction event at meiosis 1. The point of meiosis 1 is to split the homologous chromosomes. Since that didn't work, they're both going to go to this side. Now, the point of meiosis 2 is to split the sister chromatids. So those will split. Okay, so meiosis 1 failed, and we ended up with both homologous chromosomes still in the same cell. The other one would be empty. And then if meiosis 2 is successful, we will break up the sister chromatids, and you will end up with sperm cells that have a single-stranded X, a single-stranded Y, and a single-stranded X and a single-stranded Y, and again, 2 empty. Okay, now let's talk about failure at meiosis 2. So we have our somatic X and Y. Meiosis 1 goes okay. They're separated. And meiosis 2 fails. So that means, remember, these are sister chromatids. So we would have meiosis 2 that does not split the sister chromatids, leading us to have these just pass along to the next stage with now X, X, and Y, Y. and 2 empty. And why does this matter? So this process explains how we end up, in this case, with actually disorders of sexual development. At least some of them, the ones that are chromosomal abnormalities. Because as you can see, if we create a germ cell, a sperm in this case, that is XX or XY, then when it fertilizes with an egg, presumably a normal egg, which will have an X, then we will end up with an XXX or an XXY, which is a Klinefelter actually. So we study how these non-disjunction events occur so that using chromosome tracking, we can understand whether the non-disjunction event occurred from the father or from the mother and at what stage of meiosis. The most common is maternal meiosis 1 because the oocytes are frozen at meiosis 1 from birth until ovulation. So sometimes that could be up to like 40 years if the mom is conceiving pretty late in life. So there's often trouble getting out of meiosis 1 to start the process of preparing to be ovulated, especially when the mom is older. So if we can recognize that a non-disjunction event occurred at maternal meiosis 1, we can think this is a likely advanced maternal age if that fits the situation. If we find out that the non-disjunction event occurred at some other stage of meiosis or in the dad, then that gives us a clue as to what else is going on. That's something I learned in school this week. So I hope you enjoyed our chaotic, fun journey across the country, and I look forward to coming at you more from New York City now.